Feet are going to be underneath our knees, lining the middle of the knees with the middle of the ankles. And the hip points lining up directly over that. Roll those shoulders back and down. Tailbone goes down. Roll them back again. Head is floating above the heart. Feeling your breath, giving yourself space, giving yourself permission to let go of all the busyness, the worries. Take a big, deep inhale and maybe pause for a moment and then just let it out. One more. Good. Roll those shoulders back and down again. We're going to keep our hips and our legs in our Tadasana. Oh, Floyd's coming out of hiding. Is he going to join us? No, he's not going to join us today. All right, then roll those shoulders the other way, unwinding. Good. Now we're going to lift our arms up to our shoulders. We're going to have our fingertips touching our shoulders, roll the shoulders back, point the elbows out to the sides. We're going to exhale both directions, bend the knees a little bit. We're just unwinding. Inhale to the center, exhale to the side. Draw that navel into the spine. So as you twist, tailbone goes down, supporting the low back. Big inhale to the middle, exhale to the side. Good. A few more. Bend those knees as we come down. Shoot the knees forward. Unbend as you come to the middle. Press the shins towards the toes when you bend your knees. Squeeze those inner thighs. We're warming up our knees. My toe just cracked. All right, let those arms come down. Shake them out. Shake, shake, shake. All right, then we're going to warm up our wrists. We're going to gently shake the wrists. Get some blood going to those fingers. A lot of us have been doing extra typing. If you want, you can also flop up and down, all kinds of funny directions. All right, and then wiggle the fingers like you're playing the piano. Go towards the thumbs and then go out. Towards the thumbs and out. Scrunch and release those fingers. What was the movie with the spirit fingers? Jazz fingers. It was one of those cheerleading movies. Let's do spirit fingers. Get those hands moving. Good, and then we're gonna put one palm on the other. It doesn't matter which one. I'm gonna start with my left. We're gonna push that, wrist away from you, squeezing the inner arms towards the middle. I'm at an angle to show you, but you wanna go straight out in front if you can. You can take that hand back as much as feels proper for you. And then release it. We're going to take the thumb underneath the wrist, curve it over the palm, and then let that hand go around the thumb, supporting the wrist. Squeeze the inner elbows again. Take that wrist away. If you want, you can take the fingertips towards the forearm. And slowly release. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrist one way and then the other. Let's do the other one. Palm to palm, press it away, roll that shoulder back. Big breaths in and out of the belly. We're still breathing here. And then slowly let that go. Slide the thumb underneath the wrist, let the hand drip down. Squeeze inner elbows again and push away. Big breaths in and out. When you're ready, release that slowly. Wiggle the hands, roll the wrists both directions. All right, let's get into those shoulders and warm them up, and then we'll move on down. We're going to clasp our hands together, roll the shoulders back, push the knuckles away, squeeze the elbows in. And you're going to feel that start to open along your shoulder blades. Big breaths in and out. Keeping those shoulders squeezing towards the front. Wrap those inner elbows towards the middle. Big belly breath, tailbone down. Drawing the navel slightly in. When you're ready, we're going to slowly inhale and take those hands up. Inhale, massaging in between the shoulder blades. Slowly inhaling all the way up. Roll those shoulders back away from the ears. We're going to bend the elbows, let the palms come down towards the crown of the head. Try to pull those fingertips away. Good, and then we're going to slide the palms towards the back of our head so that we can cradle our neck. Pinkies cradle the back of the skull. Roll the shoulders back, pull those hands apart, tailbone down, and then we're going to squeeze the elbows towards the front of our body, wrapping our palms around our neck. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, squeeze them together. Good, one more. We're going to pause with the elbows to the sides, and we're going to exhale and hinge to one side. It doesn't matter which one. Point the elbows, one to the floor, one to the ceiling. Tailbone towards your heels. Inhale back up. Squeeze the elbows towards the front. Exhale. Inhale, big and wide elbows. When you're ready, exhale to the other side. Tailbone down. Inhale back up. Squeeze the elbows towards the front. Breathe out. Inhale back up. Let the arms drop down. Roll the shoulders back. Standing in Tadasana, taking that in for a few breaths. Checking in with the back of the shoulders, along the arms, and the back of the neck. Feel the rib cage move as you breathe. We're going to bring our hands to the outsides of our ribs, just along those ribs, and we're going to gently rub. You can even stick your fingers in between some of the ribs. You might even find some sore spots that you didn't even know about, going towards the sternum. And then we're going to place our hands, we're just going to wrap our hands around, and we're going to leave them there for a moment. We're going to roll the shoulders back. And then maybe you can take your fingertips and find the edge of where your ribs start to make that curve in your rib cage. Roll the shoulders back again and take a big belly breath. We're going to try to move the navel away and keep these hands smushed into our torso. Now let the lungs come out to the sides, pressing your hands away. And then draw the navel closer to the spine, letting it all exhale out. Breathe into the belly. Then push the hands away with your breath. And breathe out. This is the two-part breath. Try one more. Good. And then we're going to let those hands drop down, shake them out. Find your normal breath. Continue to let go of any of the worries, the busy mind, all of that stuff. This is your time right now. We're going to step a little wider than hip distance apart. We're still going to have our feet flat on the floor. Feel each toe pressing in, the heels pressing. We're going to tick-tock the hips a little bit. Tick-tock, side to side. Tailbone still going down. We're not sticking the booty out. And we're going to add some arms with this. We're going to pause over at that left side. Really shift the weight over that left foot. Squeeze the inner thighs. Tailbone's going to go down and towards the left hip. Roll both shoulders back. We're going to slide the right hand down the outer right leg so that we're hinging just like in triangle. So we're not going to try to curve this right side very much. Bend the knees a little bit if you need, and then we're going to slide that left arm up overhead. See if you can make an extension from the shoulder all the way up. If your arm is really winging back, bring it forward. If it's really leaning forward, see if you can roll that shoulder back. I understand if you have joint mobility issues, and that's all right. When you're ready and you feel ready, take that left arm and reach for the right side of the room. Big breath, tailbone goes towards the back left heel. Tailbone down. Bend your knees. Bring that left hand down to your hip. Inhale back up. Let your equilibrium and blood pressure find its way. Roll the shoulders back and just stand in open position. Notice how one side of the body feels compared to the other. All right, we're going to do the other side. When you're ready, tick-tock the hip over to the right. Tailbone's going to go back down to the right back heel, so towards that back right corner. Roll those shoulders back. We're going to slide the left hand down the outer left thigh. Open chest. Roll that right shoulder back, and then let that arm drift up, just like in triangle. Tailbone goes toward your back heel. Don't lose that. Draw the navel into the spine. Big breaths here. When you're ready to reach over to that left side, reach full, long right side stretch. Squeeze the inner thighs. Press those feet in. Tailbone down. When you're ready to come up, bend those knees. Inhale back up. And let yourself balance. In other classes, you may remember lying down on the floor and we walked legs over, and then the top part, we made a C shape. That's the same thing. You can do them on the standing. You can do them in a chair, on the floor. You can do it legs wide apart or close together. Today we did wide apart. A couple weeks ago, we did legs close together. So we're going to walk our legs back underneath of us for Tadasana. My cord is under my foot. All right. We're going to rock back and forth to the toes and then to the heels. Waking these feet up. See if you can squeeze the ankles towards each other, so when you roll to the front, you're on both outer and inner part of the balls of the feet. And then when you come back to the heels, you feel both sides of the heel. It took me a while to find both sides of the heel. It's okay. I used to only find the very center, the bony part. We're going to squeeze those inner thighs and roll them back a little bit. See if that helps. Tailbone down. And we're going to start to let our arms swoosh with us, forward and back, letting the knees slightly bend. Inhaling as we come up to the tippy toes, squeeze those ankles together, and exhale down into a chair. Inhale, we're going to unwind our knees, come all the way up to our tippy toes, squeeze the ankles together, tailbone down, draw the navel in, and then exhale, slowly lower those heels down. Bend the knees, push the shins towards the toes, and down into chair. Roll those shoulders back, squeeze a ball in between your hands. When you're ready, we're going to inhale all the way up, unbend, up to the tippy toes. Pause if you can. Exhale into your chair. We're going to pause in our chair. Big breaths in and out. Bring your hands into Anjali Mudra right in front of the heart. We're going to exhale and twist towards the left side. So our right elbow is going to go towards our left knee. Squeeze those inner thighs. Exhale as we twist. Maybe you touch elbow to knee. When you're ready, inhale back to the middle. Exhale, we're going to forward fold. We're going to keep our knees as they are. We're going to lie the belly down. Let the arms drop down. Big breaths in and out. Let the head be heavy. Inhale, look up. Bring the hands to Anjali Mudra. Roll those shoulders back, tailbone swoops down to the heels. I know, good leg workout. We're gonna exhale over to the right. Squeeze the knees, so mine's cheating. I need to line my knees back up. Big breaths in and out. Equal weight on the feet. Inhale back to the middle. Exhale, fold over those legs, and when you're ready, unbend those legs. Your first forward fold of the day, shake the head out. Walk those legs. Walk them in place, coming to the toes and then back down to the heels. Hands can be on shins, thighs, floor, or block. If you need to keep your head above the heart, please do so. Then we're going to pause in that Tadasana. Squeeze our inner thighs together. Pause in our forward fold. Squeezing our ankles towards one another. Then we're going to bend just the right knee. Here are your IT bands. We're going to rock forward and back on those feet. Slowly rock to the toes and slowly to the heels. Again, if you need your head above your heart, please do so. When you're ready, bend both knees. Come up to your chair, roll those shoulders back. Breathe out in your chair. Pause, hold your chair. Good job. Push the shins towards your toes. Squeeze the inner thighs. Tailbone drops down. Not curving down, just aiming. All right, hinge over those legs, ragdoll, and then forward fold, unbend the knees. Head is heavy. Squeeze the inner thighs, feel each toe pressing into the floor. Roll those inner thighs towards the room behind you. When you're ready, bend just the left knee. Squeeze those inner thighs, equal weight on the feet. We're going to slowly rock back and forth on our feet. Forward to the toes and back to the heels. Good. When you're ready, unbend both. Slide your hands halfway up to your knees. Unhinge in the back. Long arms. Roll the shoulders back. Squeeze the elbows towards one another. Neutral spine or half back. Big belly breaths here. We're going to keep our legs unbent, but the knees are still supple. We're going to do a slight cat-cow here. We're going to let our belly drop down. Keep pressing our hands into the shins or the thighs. Roll those shoulders back. Don't let them hunch. Big breath into the belly. And as we breathe out, we're going to arch the back. Draw the navel towards the spine. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. See if you can arch through the sacrum this time, through your pelvis. Inhale into cow. Now let's go for the shoulders. Really arch the shoulders as you exhale. Hunch the shoulders. Inhale, cow. And then do whichever one felt best, if it was the navel area, the hips, or the shoulders. Inhale back to the middle. Walk the hands up the thighs, slowly unhinge. Roll the shoulders back, hands down towards the sides. And returning to the breath. Setting your intention for the rest of the class. As you feel your feet rooting into the earth. We're going to be working with two different mudras today. The one we're going to bring our pinky and ring finger together. We're going to touch our thumb just to meet the pads of those. The middle and pointer fingers are going to stay out. In some traditions, this is the beginning of sword finger. And with This mudra is good for breathing and also for helping you feel rooted and grounded. And what we're going to do with that, we're going to play around with it a couple different times. We're going to roll our shoulders back. We're going to extend our hands out. So now your thumb and two fingers touching are going to face me. All right, and we're shooting straight out to the sides. Roll those shoulders back and down, tailbone down to the heels. Draw the navel in. Close your eyes a little bit. Feel your breath coming in and out of the belly. Imagine that you're being pulled by the middle finger and the pointer finger, being pulled away from each other, extending your arms even further out, kind of like in Warrior Two. The shoulders roll back and down, gliding down your back, and then winging out through the fingers. Roll those inner elbows towards me a little bit. Feel your feet pressing into the earth, your tailbone drifting down, supporting you through your root chakra, all the way down to the earth. Be like a willow, find the water source in the earth through your mind's eye. Imagine that you're bringing the water from the earth up through your body and out through your fingertips. Keeping this mudra, we're going to bend our knees like we do in chair, but we're going to keep the arms out. Exhale, coming into chair. Inhale, unbend the knees. Two more of those, almost acting like a water pump. Exhale. Inhale, up. Exhale. Good. I know your arms are probably starting to burn. Inhale, up. Now let the hands drop down. Keep the mudra. Keep holding that mudra. Let the arms drop down. Same visual aid. Imagine that you're bringing up water from the earth through your body and out through your fingertips. I'm going to draw a circle up overhead. So we're going to use our fingertips to draw around our sides and up. So we're going to inhale, take the arms out to the sides, beginning to draw that circle, and then reaching all the way up, shooting those fingertips up overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to draw that circle down. Bend the knees like in chair. Exhale down. Good. Let's do it again. Inhale, hands swoop up. We unbend the knees. Exhale all the way down. Again, inhaling up. Leave those hands up there this time. And then let go of the mudra. Let the hands uncurl. Wiggle those fingers. Roll those shoulders back and down. Squeeze that imaginary ball between your palms. And then let the arms flow down to the sides. Roll the shoulders back. Standing in your Tadasana. Good. Now we're going to step to the front of our mat. We're going to make sure that we have our blocks there so that we can move into our flow. We are not going to start with a runner's lunge today. Instead, we are going to start with a 5-point star, but I want your blocks handy near the front. I'm going to grab a drink. If you need some water or anything else before you start, go ahead and get that. All right, we're going to have our blocks up in the front so that we have them. We're going to start out in 5-point star first. So we will be moving to the sides and then to the front. We will not be going to the back. So make sure that you can position yourself. So we'll start out where you can see me and then switch to the other side. So whatever side you can still see me, that's the side you're going to start on. I'm going to cue with right foot being in front, but if that doesn't work for how you need to have your camera, please make note of that. So 5-point star is where we have our feet wide, wide apart, as wide as you can get them on the mat, where toes can face forward. So they're facing towards that long side of the mat, straight out. Squeeze your inner thighs, take your tailbone straight down. You're gonna feel maybe a little bit of kinking here in your, or pinching right on those sides. That's part of your IT band. We're gonna rub them a little bit, just pulsing our thumbs in that area. Roll the shoulders back, take the tailbones down, slight bent knees. Good, roll those shoulders back again. We're gonna try to pull our elbows apart, just like we did at the beginning. And then we're gonna try to wing them back. Inhale, let them come out. Exhale, back. Inhale, out and back. Good. One more. And then back where we began, neutral. We're gonna let our arms swoop out, just like in Warrior Two. Check out your arms. Roll those shoulders back. Palms are facing the earth. Look down both arms. Are they parallel to the floor? Do they seem to extend from your shoulders? Roll them back again. Take the pinky side and wing them towards me just a little bit. Wing them towards the camera just a little bit, wrapping that underarm around. 5-point star. Feet are firmly into the floor, squeezing inner thighs just a little bit, and try to pull the pinky toes away from each other. Tailbone down, draw the navel in, heart is lifted. We're gonna tip to the right side, so tip towards where your blocks are. Keep the hips down to your feet where they are. We're gonna tip, gonna reach that right arm towards the toes. Left arm straight up to the earth. Roll the shoulders back. Tailbone now is gonna swoop towards your back heel. Try to lift your left or the upper hip towards the sky. Use your right hand or the hand that's on your leg, press it in, rotating the heart and the navel towards the sky just a little bit. You might feel that in your hips, so squeeze the inner thigh and try to pull the feet away from each other to give space. Then we're gonna reach this left arm up and over towards the front, sort of like a side angle stretch. When you're ready, we're gonna take our gaze towards the foot that's near the blocks. Now we're gonna point those toes towards the skinny side of the mat. You know where we're going? All right, we're gonna bend that front knee, push the shin towards the toes. Watch your knee line up. Middle of the knee goes to second and third toe. This hand that was resting on the leg, bend that elbow, bring that forearm up to the thigh so you can press in, try to drag the elbow behind you. Roll the shoulders back, long spine again. Maybe reach a little bit more with this top arm. Good. We're gonna turn our chest towards our front knees. We're gonna bring our belly button over our thigh, rotating, reaching still for that front of the mat. Squeeze the inner thighs and try to push the heels away. Protect your back knee, bend it if you need. Slowly unwinding in the spine. Then we're gonna drop that arm down and find a block. So left hand for me is gonna find a block so we can press in. Front knee is still bent. I lost mine, so I'm gonna push my shin towards my toes again, squeeze inner thighs. Now you'll notice that we don't have our heels in the right place for our warriors, so we're gonna pivot that back heel a little bit towards the back right corner. You might notice that your tailbone started to follow it, which is great. Now we have a hand on a block and on a knee, pushing the shin towards the toes. We're gonna push hands into their surfaces, turn the navel towards the right side. Slight twist. Inhale, unwind. We're gonna find that block with the right hand. If you need to move your block up a level, go ahead. Roll that shoulder back. Now our elbow is pressing into that knee to make sure it opens up. We're gonna hug our ribs or hug your belly with your left hand. We're gonna draw that navel up towards the sky. And then let that left arm come all the way up. Inner thigh is opening, tailbone's going towards the back heel. Squeeze inner thighs, try to push those feet away from each other. Big belly breath. Long arms. Open chest. Unbend the front knee when you're ready. Nothing else moves but that knee. Rebend it. This is coming in and out of your triangle. Long spine versus curved. All right. We're going to take that belly over the front thigh. Legs are unbent. Find the block with both hands. Turn the navel towards that front thigh. Now grab the second block if you have one. If you don't have a second block, use your shin. So we're moving our belly over the thigh. So from the hips to the crown of our head, we're looking forward. Squeeze the inner thighs. Take that tailbone towards the back heel. Roll the shoulders back. Now we're going to pivot this back foot into that runner's lunge type leg. So now the back toes are facing forward. Grab your second block or use your shin. Knee is still unbent in the front. Drag that right hip back. If you know you do not feel comfortable with your knee pressing into the floor, you are going to grab that block that's underneath your left hand. You're going to move it back so that you can rest your shin on it when we come down. So I need to scoot it back a little further. So now the kneecap is hanging off the shin. You can let your toes curl or relax, because what we're going to do is we're going to bring either the left hand on the inner part of that right leg, the shin, the knee, or if you have a second block, I'm going to use my knee. We're going to take the tailbone back to the left heel. Navel comes towards the inner right thigh. I'm going to reach my left hand out over my thigh, reaching out for a gentle twist. If you want, you can roll that right shoulder back, let it just lay down your back. You can bend the elbow and bring it back around to your navel. Squeezing your thighs, pushing the front shin away, tailbone towards the back heel. When you're ready, we're going to unwind. Inhale, unwind. Let the hands come down to the floor, and we're going to unbend this front knee into a pyramid. Squeeze the inner thighs. If you want a little deeper, bend the elbows, continue to hinge down. Point the toes into the floor. Squeeze those inner thighs. Drag the right hip back just a little bit. When you're ready, let those toes come up. Flex and point the foot. We're going to go back and forth. Then point. Getting into your calves more here. And then flex. Drag that heel towards the back of your mat. Massaging it in and out. And then when you're ready, pausing with those toes up. Drag those heels back. Maybe you press into the floor with your hands. You can bring the forehead down if you want. Some of you might be thinking I'm crazy, and that's okay. I'm used to it. When you're ready, place the right foot back on the floor. Bend the knee. Both hands on the floor. We're going to walk to the diagonal just a little bit so we can come out. We're going to curl the back toes. Unbend that knee. Move the block back to the front. Then we're going to pivot our right foot to the long side of the mat. So now we're coming into a wide angle forward fold. Both sets of toes are going to face the long left side of the mat. Hands can press into the floor, into the mat, into a block. Giving your knees and your back a rest. A lot of us have our knees bent too much, either sitting in chairs, cross-legged. So we're letting these open up behind us. Squeezing inner thighs, pushing those toes away. You can do a long angled downward dog if you'd like, walking those hands out in front. Keep your booty over your legs. Letting the head hang. Inhale, walk those hands back underneath you. We're going to toe heel the feet back towards each other to come up into our normal forward fold. See if you can walk those toes right next to each other. Feet pressing in, squeezing inner thighs. Let the legs support you as the top body just kind of hangs off. Good, we're going to bend those knees, slide on up, come up slowly to your Tadasana. Close feet Tadasana, roll those shoulders back and down. Good, step a little wider into your normal Tadasana. Taking in how the body feels. You might feel really long on the side that was facing the ceiling the whole time and a little tight because we've only opened up half the hip on the one that was doing all the supporting. Good. All right, we're going to do the other side. I'm going to turn and face away so you can see what the other part of the body is doing, as in tailbone going down and stuff like that, but I'll come in and out of it as we're guiding. So we're going to start out in that 5-point star. I'm going to turn around. We're going to start out in that 5-point star. So walk your feet out as wide as you can with the toes facing the wide side of the mat. Squeezing those inner thighs, tailbone goes straight down. Feel the pinky toes pressing away, inner thighs trying to squeeze towards the middle of your body. Roll the shoulders back and let those arms extend out like in Warrior Two. Roll the pinkies towards the front of you now. Check out your arms. Are they parallel to the floor? Imagine that water coming up through your feet, through your legs, and out through the palms. All right, so now we're going to do this left side. We're going to dip down. We're going to take that tailbone straight down to the floor, squeeze the inner thighs, and then we're going to pivot in the waist, reaching that left arm down, right arm straight up. You're going to feel this in your inner thigh. Roll the right shoulder back. Take the tailbone straight down to the earth and then to the back heel. Feel that opening up your front leg just a little bit, lengthening your spine. Maybe you take your gaze to look up at the top arm. Roll that shoulder back and extend the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Reach that right arm up and over towards the front of the mat near your blocks. Tailbones going towards the back heel. Now take the gaze to look down at your front toes, your left toes now, and pivot that foot towards the front of the mat. Knees unbent. Squeeze the inner thighs. Take that tailbone straight back to the back heel. Bend that front knee. Push the shin towards the toes. Watch those toes. Watch the knee line up. Good. Pivot the back heel so that you're in your warrior position. Squeeze the inner thighs. Push the shin forward. Bend your front arm. Draw that elbow behind you and then reach for the blocks. Reach forward, up and over with this right arm. Big belly breaths, tailbone towards the back heel. Squeeze the inner thighs and then push those toes away. Good. Unbend the front knee. When you're ready, slide that left arm down. Let this top arm wrap around the rib cage so you can draw your navel and your heart towards the sky, and then letting that hand drift up. Squeezing your thighs, pushing the feet away from each other. Tailbone goes down to the back heel. Triangle. Top hip lifts up towards the sky. When you're ready, I'm going to take this top arm, reach it back over, roll the chest over the front leg. Bring that belly button over the thigh, reaching. Find the block on the inner left leg. Roll the shoulders back, draw that left hip back just a wee bit towards your back heel. Good. Pivot your right foot now so that you're in almost that runner's lunge. Let your hips adjust. We're taking the time to let them adjust. Bend your front knee, push that shin towards your toes. And then we're going to slide that block underneath that right shin. Laying that shin down, kneecap is off of the block. Now we're going to come in and out of bending and unbending that front knee. So we're going to unbend the front knee, drag that left hip back, point the toes. When you're ready, we're going to bend the knee, taking the shin towards the toes. And then unbend. Drag the hip back. Rebend. Now we're going to add the pointing and flexing of the foot. As we're going to keep this leg unbent, we're going to flex the foot, draw those toes up, drag the heel back, drag the hip back, and then point the toe again. So knee's going to stay unbent, squeeze those inner thighs. Good, one more. Good. The last thing we have is that gentle twist. So we're going to find either the second block or hands on the inner part of your left leg. Squeeze the inner thighs. Tailbone's going to swoop forward. Then we're going to bring our left hand to our left knee, our right hand either to the floor or the block. Draw the navel towards our inner left thigh. Big belly breath here. If you want to come in deeper, and let that arm drift down on the left side and just hang out. It can roll behind and wrap forward. When you're ready, unwind. And this time we're going to come down into child's pose. So how I usually do this is I use that shin on that block to support me as I wiggle my front foot back to where it feels like I can comfortably come into child's pose, removing the block. If you want the block for your forehead, you already have it there. Squeeze, let's do really close knees together for this child's pose. Take the booty over those heels, walk those hands out. We'll do the wide child's pose as well. Just with what we did, closest is probably the best one for right now. Feeling the breath moving in and out gently. When you're ready, we're going to look up at our hands. We're going to come into a downward dog, and then we'll come back into a different child's pose. We're going to come into 3 different child's pose, 3 different downward dogs. We already did the wide downward dog. So we're going to look up at our hands, and roll those shoulders back, come up to your tabletop, and come into a very close-legged downward dog. So toes are almost touching each other. Roll those shoulders back again, squeeze the elbows in. Tailbone's going to follow those heels. Keep your knees bent. You're going to come up to the balls of the feet. Lengthen out your arms, lengthen out your spine, and then unbend the knees. Very close downward dog. Squeeze those inner elbows towards each other. Knees are slightly bent. It's going to feel different. Shake the head yes and no. And here's something even a little bit more different. We're going to shift the weight of our hips towards the right side of the mat a little bit. You're going to watch as your hips go ticking tock. And it's okay. You've got stability with your hands. You've got stability with your feet. And then slowly go to the middle and over to the left side. Shoulders are away from the ears. All right, come to center. Come up to the tippy toes. Bend those knees, shins come down, child's pose. Let those knees walk hip distance apart. You can either point toes directly out or let them touch for child's pose. If you want to do tortoise with the hands walking towards the hips, feel free to do that. If you let those shoulders drop off of the torso. When you're ready, inhale, look up. We're going to come up to our normal downward dog. Walk those fingers out, come to your tabletop. So now feet are hip distance apart. Squirrel. Curl those toes underneath, roll those shoulders back, squeeze the elbows in, lengthen out through the spine, through the arms, and then slowly unbend the knees a little bit. Press those shins away from the floor. Heels start to find the floor a little bit more. Long spine. That's the key, not how unbent your knees are. Shake your head out, yes and no. Bicycle the legs here. Really take your time. Hold one knee bent and the other one unbent. And then the other one. Come up to the tippy toes, unbend the knees. Pivot the heels towards the left side of the mat and let those heels come down. Inhale back up. Pivot the heels towards the right side of the mat. Heels come down. Inhale back to the middle. Let the knees come down. Child's pose. Roll the wrists, wiggle the fingers. Inhale, look up. We're going to come to our backs. We're going to bring the block with us. If you want your pillow handy, have the pillow handy. We're also going to be using the strap. All right, we're going to come down. Walk those fingertips down along your body, down towards your heels. Push the shins towards the toes. Come up into your bridge, lifting up, tailbone towards the knees. And then we're going to take that block and slide it underneath. Let the sacrum come down. Find where that block is comfortable underneath that sacrum. Walk those fingertips towards your heels again. Squeeze the inner thighs, push the shins towards the toes, lift up off the block one more time. Take the tailbone towards the knees, and then slowly find the block again. Use that block, find if it's stable, come to the toes on one foot to make sure it's stable. And then we're going to draw both knees into the heart. Let your back be supported, let the hips drop down into the block. Take the tailbone just a little bit to the sky, but not much. Unbend the legs slowly so you can point those toes up. If you know having feet above you is not a great thing, don't do this then. You can extend the legs long, down along the floor if you'd rather. The weight of your feet, your legs, expanding through your pelvis. We're going to point the toes and we're going to let those legs separate out to the sides, slowly drawing the navel towards the spine. Let the feet relax and then flex them. Now your energy is going through the heel. Relax them. Point. Relax. Flex. Draw your knees. Bend your knees. We're going to draw them towards your shoulders just a little bit. Almost like a goddess, but not quite. Just getting in a little deeper into the inner thigh. The weight is helping to open up. You have your arms there if you need to help support them. Bend the knees a little bit more. Draw them even closer to your chest. You're going to feel where this is changing. Slowly moving to where the knees are coming closer and closer to the heart. They're coming closer to the middle of your body. But take your time. Keep breathing. You might have a little bit of shaking as they're coming back together. Mine are. And squeeze the legs close together. Draw those knees in. And then we're going to slowly let just the right foot come down. We're going to inhale, follow that heel with your tailbone for your lower back's sake. Press that right foot in. Take the left heel to the right knee. Let the outer left leg now move out to the side. Flex that left foot. For some, this might be enough of a supine pigeon for them being on the block, helping support that pelvis and already getting up there. You can stay here. You can rock side to side here. You can even walk the foot further over to the right for a lightly deeper in the SI joint opening. If that's not where you need and you need more of the outer, slide the foot out further. The next step would be to draw those legs into your heart, breathing in as you do so. Tailbone's going to shoot towards the foot of your mat. Inhale. Bring those knees up. You can bring them in just like your normal supine pigeon, letting the weight and gravity do the work for you. Tailbone goes toward your block and then to the foot of the mat. Here you can slightly rock side to side if you'd like. You don't have to. Slightly squeezing inner thighs and then release. Squeeze and release. If you want to unbend that right knee, you can. Some people like to when they're on the block. You don't have to. And when you're ready, take your hands and hold that left leg a little close so that you can let this right leg start to move away without the extra weight. And then let that left leg start to move. Let go of it, let it come down. Let's do the other side. Draw the right knee in, pause, hold that knee in. All right, now we're going to take that ankle to the left knee coming into your supine pigeon. You might feel one side tighter than the other, and that's okay. Really see about the gravity pulling this right outer thigh towards the floor. Flex that right foot. Press the left foot in. Tailbone goes towards the knees. See if this is where you need to stay. Maybe you need to wiggle a little bit. Maybe this is exactly where you need to be. If you want to try this later on and you want to go in steps, you can put a block underneath that left foot and slowly walk your way up to then where the knees are towards the chest. If you want to come in deeper, inhale, take those knees up, let them come in towards the heart. Let the gravity draw them in. Squeeze the inner thighs and try to push the outer thighs away from each other. Tailbone towards your block and then to the foot of the mat. If you want, you can rock side to side gently. Dropping that right hip down to the block. Big belly breath. If you want to unbend that left leg, you can. Drop that right hip towards the bottom right corner of the mat. Tailbone follows. When you're ready, hold that right leg just a little bit so you can let that left leg start to come down without the extra weight. Then let the right leg go and follow. Find those feet underneath your knees. We're going to lift up into our bridge and pause with our bridge. Lift up. Take those hips up, tailbone towards the knees. Remove the block, but keep holding your bridge for a moment. And then slowly come down. Squeeze inner thighs, tailbone towards the knees, shoulders down, middle back, and then pelvis. Pause for a breath or two. Lengthen out one leg and then the other. Tap the toes together. And then relax. Feel the breath moving up and down throughout the body. Walk those fingertips closer to your heels. Roll the head gently side to side. Open and close the mouth. If you feel heavy right now and really relaxed, stay here. If you feel like you need more of a heart expanding opener, you can use pillows, you can use blocks, you can use your bolster. I'm going to use the pillow. So what I'm going to do is walk my feet underneath my knees. Again, if you are comfortable where you were, stay there. I'm going to roll to one of my sides so I can slowly sit up. I'm going to scoot that pillow, or if you have a bolster, use your bolster, to where your booty is touching the bottom of it. And then slowly rolling over it. If you need something underneath your neck, please put something there. Wiggle around and find it. Roll the shoulders back, walk those arms away. And then you have options for your feet. You can take the feet wide apart and let the knees collapse in. You can keep the feet on the floor as they were, or you can lengthen out the legs. You can do butterfly, diamond, or frog. Whichever one feels right for you. You can also wiggle on the bolster on the pillow to let the sacrum be supported by it if you'd rather. Maybe you let your arms come out to the sides or down by your sides. Lots of different options here. Letting the weight of the body feel the earth, supporting you, holding you. The heart is open, expanding with every inhale and opening with every exhale. Letting the abdomen open with every inhale and exhale. Feeling the vibration of the earth under you. As the face relaxes, the throat is soft, the ears have ease. All the tension in the body is leaving. As the breath moves in and out of the body. allowing your heart space to open, to accept the compassion and love that has been sent to you from others, to accept your own love and compassion. As you open up the heart space, it gives room for the throat to open so you can speak your voice, speak your truth, so you can sing, giggle, letting your inner child shine brightly. Along with your inner child, your open heart, feel your breath bringing in unconditional love and light through every pore of your body. Breathing it out through the soles of the feet. Breathing in from all the pores of the body. Breathing out through the palms. Breathing in through all the pores. Breathing out through the crown of the head. Breathing in from everywhere. Breathing out from everywhere. Feeling your body on the earth, heavy and relaxed, bringing your awareness back to the body. You bring all of your parts back in. You wiggle fingers and toes, crinkle the nose, stick the tongue out, make funny faces. Stretch, yawn, move, snap, crackle, and pop. Being mindful of whatever props you had underneath of you. Choosing what side you need to roll to for your body. You walk those feet underneath you a little bit. Bend the knees, let them start to drift. You slowly move to that other side. Giving space for the circulatory system and nervous system to recalculate with each other. When you're ready to sit up, slowly sit up. If you have a trigger side in your back, draw that knee a little closer. Coming to a comfortable seat, I'm going to go ahead and sit right on my pillow. Allowing space to happen for your body. Tailbone down. Roll those shoulders back. Feel the difference. Look to one direction and then the other. Roll the shoulders back. Bring the hands back to your sacrum. Holding that sacrum, embracing it. Roll the shoulders back. Squeeze those elbows in. Tailbone goes down. And then let those arms relax. Slide them out. Shake them out. But grab your knees. Cat, cow. Maybe you do a little bit of like a hip and chest circle one way and the other, feeling the spine, moving your neck a little bit. We're going to bring our hands together, but we're going to take the left palm and face it towards the heart and the right palm towards me. And then we're going to clasp those hands together. So left thumbs up, right thumbs down. Roll those shoulders back and we're going to try to pull those hands apart. Big breath in. Exhale, release that grip a little bit. Let the arms relax as you breathe out. We're connecting with Ganesh, Hindu god of removing obstacles. Inhale, try to pull it away. Exhale, release. This also helps strengthen the heart, the bronchial section of the body, and helping remove obstacles in our heart space. Pull one more time and then pause. Keep trying to pull those arms away. And we're going to breathe out. Try to dip that right elbow down and then inhale, straighten back out. Exhale, dip the left elbow down. Inhale, straighten back out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more of each. Later on, you might want to try this with a different speed. You can also do twisting with it, but for right now, we're going to let go. Find our hands in Anjali Mudra, placing any of those hopes, dreams, prayers, manifestations, goals, whether they're for you, loved ones, community, the world, the earth, the universe. Letting them shine out, placing a slight smile on your face. You may join with me in the closing, if you wish, of the Om, Three Shantis, and a Namaste. I'm going to begin. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.